one. Hi everyone, this is Angela Breidenbach, and I am one of the authors of Blue Ribbon Brides, and I am bringing to you my sister authors. And at this moment, we're going to get to visit with Jennifer AlLee, and she and I are from the same hometown and had dinner together recently in Las Vegas. So even though I'm in Montana and she's in Vegas, sometimes we get to meet in person. So it's really fun. And I want to tell you a little bit about her story in the Blue Ribbon Brides. It's called Better with Butter. I like the alliteration there, Jen. Nevada State Fair, early 1916. In attempts to save the family dairy, Ella Daniels becomes one of the region's most infamous butter sculptresses. Maxwell Sinclair has been hired by a margarine company to convince the public that margarine is best. Can Ella save the farm, or perhaps win a blue ribbon in love? By proving that everything really is better with butter. I think she's buttering him up. And to tell you a little bit about Jennifer AlLee. She believes the most important thing a woman can do is discover her identity in God, a theme that carries throughout her stories. She's a member of American Christian Fiction Writers and RWA's Faith, Hope, and Love chapter. We're in those together. When she's not spinning tales, she enjoys board games with friends, movies, and breaking into song for no particular reason. Jennifer lives with her family in the grace-filled city of Las Vegas, Nevada. Please visit her at jenniferallee.com. That is spelled JenniferAllee.com. And I'm going to let you ladies take it away while I sit in the background and enjoy.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hello, nice to see you all.
Thanks for agreeing to do this.
Oh, yeah, this is great. This is the first time I've done something like this. So if I do anything wrong, tell me.
There is no wrong.
There's no wrong.
This is the no judgment zone, so don't worry about that.
Just a bunch of friends sitting around a table, and you're at the head right now. So.
Oh, there you go. I actually am at the head of a 6-foot table.
That works out really well. So.
It's my workspace, yeah.
Maybe give us some background on the story. Like, again, I think this is just, for us, like, we like to hear where you got your ideas from, what led you to write about this in particular for this novella.
Mm-hmm. Well, this collection started out with, I believe Gina Wellborn had the original idea about blue ribbons. And if I got that wrong, I apologize to whoever actually did come up with the idea. But brides and fairs, and I started thinking about, Nevada, where I'm from, and they did have a state fair, and started researching that, and then came across butter sculpting, and I thought, oh, that's great. I've got to do something with butter, because the whole idea of making these intricate sculptures with that medium was just fascinating and also kind of icky. But I hate having greasy hands, so I can't imagine how they actually do this. But so it was really fun to learn more about all of that.
Okay. So in your research, so as they started talking about, like with dairy with the butter, and then how margarine was, I guess at that time being invented per se. I mean, so with through your research, does that kind of correlate how it came about?
When margarine came on the scene, it was very controversial. Obviously, the dairy industry was not happy. They saw it as a direct confrontation to everything they stood for. And margarine, when margarine is made, it's actually just white because of what it's made from. And people are used to butter that's yellow and it's got this, warm family connotation to it. The white margarine, just this tub of white stuff, didn't really play very well, so the margarine companies were using food coloring to put the yellow into the margarine. And the dairy industry was, oh no, you can't do that, you're messing with the product, you're putting chemicals in there. Of course, they actually do the same thing because butter in its original form has a very light yellow color, fairly anemic. And so, at least at that time, they also put food coloring in butter. But that was a whole different thing. They didn't talk about that. So yeah, there was quite a division between the butter lovers and the margarine. It's almost like, mayonnaise and Miracle Whip now.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting about the margin that I didn't realize was about why, if I understood correctly, why they were inventing it with the rations and with the war and such. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it ended up being part of the whole war effort, and I don't believe that's the purpose it was invented for, but it definitely was created in mind with, if you don't have all the resources, then you've got this product. And because of the war coming in, that was a big selling point.
Yeah, it's too bad they brought Mother Margarine around. In hindsight, all that stuff. But my question is, you have the Igloo, guy from Igloo, okay?
Yes.
Is that the company that we know as the Igloo, Nurse?
No. No, it's not that. I made up names for these companies, not trying to say this is a specific one. And yeah, Igloo, I could see why you would think, oh, we should be talking about the
I
Igloo
just got
company
that
now.
new there, so yeah.
Right. There definitely were companies that were representative of what I wrote. And so at the same time you've got this butter margarine thing, you also had ice boxes which were being phased out by electric and the electric refrigerator, and that new. So you had these two different competing industries, and they kind of could join forces. Now, I made up that part. I don't know that anybody at a fair ever did join forces with refrigerators and ice boxes, but it seemed to make sense.
I agree.
That was an interesting, piece of the story, I thought.
Yeah.
And a little more devious, I guess, than there was more of a villain in this one than kind of any of the others.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, man.
It's because she's from Vegas. That's got to be it.
There's just got to be a little conflict in there and a reason why people are not trusting each other. And so, because I knew that I didn't want Max and Ella to actually be trying to undercut each other in that way. But if they believed that that was happening, there was more tension in their relationship and what was going on. And so, yeah, having a villain in there just worked really well.
And I have to say, so we're reading this, right? And then we get to the part about the fire, and I'm like, no, not Geraldine!
I know.
Yeah, thankfully, Geraldine was in a different spot, yeah.
Yeah, so I was relieved when I later read that she was okay.
Butter Geraldine, she melted, but the real Geraldine, she was fun. There were no cows harmed in the writing of this novella.
Thank you for that. I did write down a word that I have never seen before, and it was convivial. I don't think I've ever read that word before, and maybe it shows my ignorance, but I thought, well, that's interesting. I kind of surmised what the definition is, but where did you come up with convivial?
There are just words that sometimes you read somewhere else or that you hear and they kind of stick with you. And that's just one of them. It's obviously I've encountered it before. So sometimes you're just writing and it's like that comes out. And then there are other times too when I realize, oh boy, I've used the same word too many times. I need to replace it. And I will look at the thesaurus. That wasn't one of them, but that will happen.
Well, I can tell you, as Jen's friend, she is a very convivial personality.
Thank you. As is Angie, obviously.
We need to have you share with us the next book that you have coming out or that you'd like to tell us about? And then it will be Cynthia's turn to join us from the Blue Ribbon Brides collection. So, Jen, would you share with us what your next book is?
Yes, I've got another novella that's kind of the same, with the same idea that Barbara put together, a collection. This one is called Love's Labor Found. It's a big departure for me because it's set in 1655 in the West Indies.
Oofta.
And it's about an indentured servant, and so this is in the Captive Brides collection.
Oh, we're in that one together.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And speaking of the bad guy, I'm trying it's been very difficult with this one not to get too
Yes.
heavy.
I'm having
Yes.
the same problem. Yes.
But it's I'm really liking the story, and I hope you all like it. And I just want to real quickly tell you, I was not able to send any book plates because I just got behind on things. If anybody would like a signed book plate, just go to my website, send me an email through there with your address, and I will send you one free of charge.
And tell us again how to contact you.
My website is JenniferAlLee.com.
And that's ALLEE.
Yes, 2 L's, 2 E's.
Awesome. And 2 N's in Jennifer.
Yes, correct. And 1 F. Yeah, I think we just made my name more confusing.
Well, the reality is Better with Butter has alliteration, and so does your name.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. And if you all have a couple of more questions or anything you want to chat about while I get Cynthia on the line, I'm going to stop the recording, and you'll be able to find this over on the YouTube playlist for the Blue Ribbon Brides, probably later tonight or tomorrow. All right, thanks, Jennifer.
Thank you.